Hey, welkom back to Karen's Papercraft. Thank you very much for watching. Wat leuk dat je weer kijkt, dankjewel. Pool Party, Bubble Bath and Moody Mauve. Now don't they look smashing together? Add some cherries and it's the cherry on top. Come and join me to find out how you can make this cute card. Do you think this card has a 50s look? I think he does, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the colours or these little blocks everywhere. I don't know, just let me know whether you agree or not. I'm going to show you how I hand coloured the cherries, and these grids are only partially attached, and I'm going to show you how I did that as well. It makes for easy adhering. Okay, let's start with the card base itself. I have here thick Whisper White. And I'm going to, this is A4 for my American friends, so this is 8 1/4 by 11, 15, 16, but I'm only going to need 5 1/2, so I'm going to cut this with a long side top at 5 1/2, and then, which is 14 centimeters, and then I'm going to score this because this is 21 centimeters across, 8 1/4 across. I'm going to score this at 4 1/8. If you work in letter, yours will be 8 1/2, so you score at 4 1/4. Oh, score, hang on. Let's get the cutting blade out of the way. So my card is just 1/8 of an inch narrower there, but that doesn't really show compared to the 8 1/4. 4 1/4, I mean, sorry. Then I'm going to show you how I stamp the sentiment, and I'm going to use the Share a Milkshake stamp set, and I've also used the Share a Milkshake dies, and I'm going to use the Stylish Shaped dies, and I'll take it out, the second smallest one, to cut out the sentiment. And I see that I did not put a piece of Bubble Bath ready, so I'll have to go and get it. Sorry about that. I cut my grid from the piece that I had ready, so I'll take a 2-inch piece. That should be enough for the sentiment. So, Bubble Bath, and I'm going to use both Versamark and Early Espresso, and D-Block, it is. And I'm using the Versamark and the Early Espresso because I'm going to heat emboss it as well with the clear emboss powder. And when you add the Versamark, it makes it wetter, just for that moment longer, which makes it easy to, I'm just checking if this will be okay. Yeah, it will. Now first I'm putting it on the Versamark because you don't want to put it on the Early Espresso and then onto your Versamark, because then you'll be colouring that pad and you don't want that. So you just ink it up in Versamark and then you ink it up in Early Espresso. Put it on and put the clear emboss powder on top. And this I'm going to heat emboss. I'll do this without sound because it is rather noisy, and I'm going to warm up my heat tool first. Do you have to do the heat embossing? No, of course you don't. But I think it looks really nice when it has this shiny effect. I was looking for the word there. And you saw me use my craft tweezers to hold the paper, and I don't even have to hold it myself. It's heavy enough to take the paper so that it doesn't blow away. Okay, this then can be die cut, and I'll do that using my mini. I don't know if you ever heard this before, but if you die cut something which has a straight edge like this, first let me just put it on, make sure that it's with an even border all around. I was going to tell you, I was going to give you a tip on how to die cut a die which has a straight edge like this square. If you put it in straight onto the cutting plate, then it'll have difficulty going over that bump. So I'm just going to shorten this a bit, then I can put it in at an angle much more easily. Okay, so don't put it in like that, put it in like that at an angle. Then when you die cut it, your machine will have less trouble. Also, there's no need to put the cutting plates in the same no, my English today, I'm so sorry. There's no need to put them on all at the same edge. You can put one back a bit or forward a bit, and then again your machine finds it easier to take them. If you hear a difference in the sound, that's because that's because I stood up to do this. I have more power then. Okay, so this is now cut and ready to go onto my card. Oh, and I see one other lying on my desk, and I have to ask your opinion. I'm going to be making more of these cards, and I was wondering whether it would be better to have it on the card in Bubble Bath, as here, or perhaps in Pool Party. Let me know what you think. I'll bring in the card. So the one I showed you before is in Bubble Bath, but how about Pool Party? Would that work as well? I'm in two minds about it. Bubble Bath or Pool Party. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Right, then the grids. I'm going to show you how I made those. I've already made two to make this video just a bit shorter. I'm going to show you how I do it with the Moody Mauve grid. A piece of Moody Mauve cardstock, the Share a Milkshake dies, and this is the grid one. And this is 3 inches by 2 inches, so let's say 5.2 by 7.6 centimeters. And I'm going to die cut this, and I'm going to use some adhesive sheet right in the middle, so that when you stick it onto the card, it is adhered only in the middle, and you get these bits which stand up a bit, which I think gives the card a lively look. I've used adhesive sheets, and on purpose I did it. I'm going to cut it where the division line is. It makes it easier to take away the backing paper. You could also cut 1-inch blocks from the side if you wanted to, but I'm sure I'll be able to use what I have left for a different project. So see, this is where the paper divides. I'm going to put this on in the middle of that piece and then die cut it. And I'm going to save the die cuts, not all of them, a couple of them. So I'll die cut this. So you put the cutting side down onto the right side of the paper so that the adhesive sheet is at the bottom, and you die cut it. You could see me go back and forth, and that's because it is such a fine die. Now then, the ones that I'm going to save are the ones without the adhesive sheet on. And there are a couple of them around the outside. Let me just get my picky tool. Okay, and these two as well. These I put in a little container, and you see I have plenty more. Whenever I need confetti for a project or a shaker card, I have plenty on hand, you see. All these little cuts that I save, there's lots of things in there. There's circles, there's stars, there's squares, there's little flowers. I just save them for a project. Now then, the ones in the middle which are fully adherable, I don't know what's wrong with my English today, sorry. These are easy to adhere because they have adhesive sheet all over them. That's better, thank you. And I'm going to save those, so I'll just take away the ones along the outer edge. These I discard. And the ones which have adhesive sheet all over them I'm going to save, as I did with the pool party and with the bubble bath. And then you can take this out. You have these tiny holes in there which make it easy to push it forward a bit. Okay, that's my third grid. Right, the grid is ready. And then the cherries, I already die cut them because I wanted to save a little bit of time. I'm getting a bit of used paper in, and I'm going to show you how I hand colour the cherries. I die cut 5, and I'll show you. This is the die cut from the same die set, the Share a Milkshake dies. That's the one, tiny cherry. And I'm using my Stampin' Blends, of course, to do this. I have Old Olive and I have Sweet Sorbet. So I'll start with a light one, and then I colour the cherry. Just go across a couple of times. You can do 2 or 3 at a time. The ink will still be wet enough. Okay. And then with a dark one, I create a whiter space, almost as if there's light shining on the cherry. And then towards the bottom, I make it just a bit darker. And then the Old Olive for the stalk. Oh, the brush tip would be better. So just colour it, and that's all there's to it. Have I got all my elements? I think I do. I've got 5 cherries, I've got 3 grids, I've got a sentiment, so I can put the card together. First with a bone folder, make it flat. That's better. Right, I'll put everything on. So here from the back you can remove the backing paper of the adhesive sheet, and you see it's adhered in the middle, but here you have some room to put it up a bit. I've used dimensionals for the sentiment, and I've used the mini dimensionals for the cherries. And first I'm going to see where I want to stick down everything, roughly, before I actually stick down anything. And then it's time for the tiny bits that I saved, and I'm going to use the Pick Me Up tool now. You see I have the 3 colours, and there are some which are square, there are some which have a more rectangular shape, so I want a mix of those. Need another green one, there one, okay. Something like that will do fine. And then here again I can remove the backing and stick them onto the card. Oops. That's what the Take Your Pick tool is great for. pretty card finished. That's it for today. Please let me know in the comments if you think this card has a 50s look, same as I do. Oh, and don't forget to let me know whether you prefer the sentiment in Pool Party or in Bubble Bath. All the details for this card are on my blog and the link is in the description box below. If you liked this video, I would love for you to like it or subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Dankjewel voor het kijken en I'll see you next time. Bye bye, tot ziens.